Hi everyone, Nova here from Brighter Outlook Counselling Service with this week's live stream narcissistic abuse recovery question, answer and support sessions. Thank you so much for joining me here tonight for the first live stream of 2019. So in saying that, I would like to wish all of you a very, very happy narc-free new year. Now, the reason I'm starting a couple of minutes earlier tonight is because those of you who have joined in the last couple will know that we've had all sorts of problems trying to get someone else into the live stream. So I thought I would start up a couple of minutes early tonight. Angie's there. Hi, Angie. Happy New Year's to you. Thank you for joining me. Just thought I'd start a couple of minutes earlier tonight to make sure we can get David in because it might take a little while. There's been all sorts of glitches and changes going on with Facebook, which has made it impossible to get anyone in, get a second person in for the live stream, which has just been so incredibly frustrating. So, we've got Maxine there. Hi, Maxine. Happy New Year to you too. So, I'm just going to wait here for David and try and get him in ASAP. We've got Sharon there and we've got Chris McLean. Hi, Sharon. Happy New Year to you and Chris as well. Thank you for joining me. Okay, so I'm sure David's watching at the moment. I just hope this works tonight or I am just going to be devastated. So let's see how we go. I hope you, none of you have got, your heads aren't too sore from the celebrations last night. If you're like me, you wouldn't have seen the new year in and you would have been snoring away, which I was with my little puppy dog. But that's what happens when you get older. Okay, we've got Tracy there. Hi, Tracy. Happy New Year to you too. And so just say hi guys as you always do, and say whereabouts you're from, especially if you're new, so we know whereabouts in the world you're tuning in from. And you just might see someone here tonight who lives not too far away from where you are, and you might be able to get together and talk about your experiences and help each other out. And we've got Nicole Eleanor there. Hi, Nicole. Happy New Year to you. Okay, so, we've got Maxine says, I was in hospital today from stress and the nurse gave me a domestic violence card, even though it wasn't about that. Oh my goodness, Maxine, that's no way to start in the new year. I hope you're okay. Please just take care. Okay, I've got David here, so I'm going to start to let him in, everyone. So just keep your fingers crossed that we can do it. Okay, let me try. Okay. David Demars, add, please work. Fingers crossed. I've got my toes crossed at the moment too. And then David. Yay! Oh, what a relief.
It was different this time than the last time we tried it.
I'm so glad we had that practice yesterday because, I pressed something that I've never been near before. So definitely needed to get that practice in.
Yeah, this time was even different than the time we practiced.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I couldn't tell you I was here, so I typed it.
No, yeah, really weird. Anyway, it worked and it worked really quickly. So happy. Oh,
New Year.
is it New Year there?
Happy New Year.
Is it New Year in the States?
Yeah, 1 hour into it.
Oh my goodness. So it's 1 a.m. on New Year's Day.
Right.
Oh, well, thank you for joining us. And Happy New Year.
Happy New Year's.
Yeah, I think most of the people are joining, I don't know about most, but a few of them are going to have sore heads from last night's celebration, but I haven't heard of any yet. So we've got a few people here already. A few I've said hello to. Guys, you will know that the last time I tried to get David in, we just had all sorts of dramas. So it's just such a relief to have him back. And we do thank him because it's only it's 1 a.m. on New Year's day, which means they're still all celebrating over in Las Vegas. So, okay, we've got Nicole's there. Wendy Rogers is there. Hi, Wendy. Happy New Year. Letha's there. Hi, Letha. Happy New Year to you too. And, oh, goodness, stop shaking around screen. We've got Michelle. Okay, can't see anyone new that I haven't said hello to. So, yeah, thanks, guys, for joining us on the first live stream for 2019. And hopefully it's going to be the best year for you guys yet. Okay, so, David, what are we going to talk a little bit about tonight?
Well, with it being the holidays, I thought holiday Hoover. Narcissist coming back, trying to get back into your life for a day, for a week, for a month, again, forever, during the holidays. It's very common. Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, why do they do it? Why do they pick, special times like Christmas and Easter and, birthdays and they all those kinds of times to, try and get their hooks back into you if you tried to move on?
Well, I think that, a lot of people don't understand a lot of times when they leave you or break up with you, end the relationship, silent treatment, walk out the door, don't tell you anything. A lot of times in their head, it's not over. And they objectify you. They don't respect you. They want to come back and get what they used to get from you again. You made them feel special. They want to come back and feel special. And I think that a lot of it, yes, is the holidays, but a lot of reasons they do this in the first place, they go, most of them, it seems like if you're dating them, the relationship ends, they go right on to someone else, don't they? Almost every time. And I think that a lot of this is hormonal. I think usually about 6 months it takes for a lot of hormones to drop that a relationship, causes to rise hormones. About 6 months, typically they start to drop. And if you don't build a good solid foundation in that relationship, there's going to be problems, and they want to seek out, other people or go back to you to feel good again. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that they just can't be alone, can they? And it's like, and also the holidays, Christmas and times like that are times when you're happy and you can actually be, well, you would be if they would leave you alone, but you can be happy naturally, which the narcissist can never be. They derive their happiness, don't they, from, eliciting that narcissistic supply from the people that they're in relationships with. So, like, as we know, they just have that inbuilt shame and that envy, that pathological envy. So that's a lot of the reason they want to destroy these times for you, is because they know that you're going to be, happy, and they want to make sure that you're not, and that you're at the same level that they are, which is eternally miserable.
Yeah, I mean, anybody who's been, hoovered back in by one of these people, how bad it is the second time around, third time, fourth time. It just gets worse. It jumps right back into how bad it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
like you said, the envy part of them, they will. They might come back just to destroy you. Yeah.
Yeah.
They might.
Absolutely. It's like, how dare you? You're not allowed to go on with your life because, as we know, they put so much work into securing you in the beginning, and they want to essentially come back, stake their claim whenever they feel like it. They want to store you, like a reptile stores a bit of meat in a cave and come back at some later date, and when they're, maybe low on supply, and if they get to dig the boot in and ruin your holiday on top of that, that's just a bonus.
Well, yeah, let's stroke their false ego by knowing they can come back and get you anytime they want. They never want to let you go completely. They never want you to stop wanting them. That's a good way to keep you wanting keep you wanting them. Come back in your life, rekindle things again, break your heart again.
Yeah, absolutely. And, as natural empathic people, times like Christmas and especially Christmas, we don't want to be alone, and often they, discarded us right before, something special like that, or even if they haven't, these times you want to be with someone who, you can show affection to, or who will show affection to. You don't want to be alone. And they know this. They have set this whole situation up so that you crave them. So they know that you're going to be, if you're not far into your healing, they know that you're going to be pining for them at these special times. And that's when it's going to be easier for them to sneak their way back in.
Vulnerable. Yeah. Alone.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so are they, like you said, they just aren't happy. These are more stressful times for everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, their anxiety levels go through the roof, don't they? Because, and I don't know if you guys know this, they're actually anxiety ridden too at these times, because they know that there's going to be, happiness all around, and there's going to be people, humming and getting together with relatives that they have real relationships with. And that makes them really nervous, because they have a void, and they don't have that in their life. Everything is false, and everyone is just an object.
And these people don't have the capabilities or the abilities to have or be in relationships. So the more intense, the longer relationship goes, the more problems are in it, because they don't know how to handle things. They don't know what to do. So relations or holidays come along. It requires more responsibility, more attention, more vulnerability. Give them gifts and things like this, and they bail. They bail and they come see you. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and also the attention is off on someone else. It's not, 100% of the time the focus is not on them, which obviously they can't stand, and they will do anything to bring that focus back on them to maintain that ego. And that's often
Uh-huh.
why, isn't it, that they ruin, these special times, is because
Mhm.
everyone's attention is elsewhere other than on the narcissist, and they need to bring it back to number one.
They'll ruin their own birthdays if the birthday party isn't giving them enough attention. They'll ruin their own birthday. They'll ruin
Yeah,
Christmas. They'll ruin New Year's. Yeah. Mhm.
yeah, very sad. Yeah, so I'd be interested, guys, to know how your experiences went with the narcissists. I know Dave and I would be very interested to know how things went, and if you had that holiday Hoover, and yeah, just hear your experiences would be great. So I'll see if we've got any questions here, David. Everyone, just comment your questions below, and as we always do, we will answer as many as we possibly can. Okay, goodness. Katrina Dean's there. Hi, Katrina. Happy New Year to you too. We've got Liz Curry. Hi, Liz. Louise and Robertson. Happy New Year, Nova and David. Tammy Breslin. Hi, Tammy. Hi, Karen Connors is there. Nicole says, because they know we are vulnerable during the times like these and get what they want out of you. Yeah, exactly right, Nicole. That's just exactly what David said. They know you're susceptible, they know you're vulnerable, they know that, you'll probably be lonely, you'll be thinking about, past good times and past Christmases, and your brain, because of the abuse, isn't going to be thinking about past abuse. It's going to be clinging on to those, those little breadcrumbs of what you perceive as a good memory. And they know this. That's why they choose these times.
You make them feel good. You know them. You know their family problems that they are facing. Poor me. You won't believe what my dad and mom said and did to me, and blah blah blah. And you'll sit there and, oh, I'm so sorry, and you'll be there for them, make them feel better.
Yeah. And it's also it's also a power boost, isn't it, for them when they get to ruin your day, because they'll come in, I don't know, they'll hoover their way back in somehow, whatever strategy they use. The day will never turn out how you planned. It will never be a nice day if you let them back. They will ruin it somehow. And of course, then they'll be on cloud nine and you'll be down here, because your emotions can never be on the same playing level. If you're happy, they have to ruin that. And if they're miserable, they have to bring you down to their level. and then they're happy because they made you miserable. So it's, it's just all about ruining, your special times.
Yeah, they're not happy, so they can't stand anyone even looking or even trying to be happy. Yeah,
Yeah,
especially if
yeah,
it's not about them.
exactly. Tracy Harper's here. It's got a question. Let me just open your question up, Tracy. If a covert narc is outed via a book, I'm not sure what that means, Tracy, or maybe Facebook is outed via a book, would that stop the crap behind the lines? We have children and he hoovers every time I reset the boundaries. Family court's still going after 2.5 years. I am wanting to end family court to figure out how to get rid of court. The book would not name that person, but he would know it was written about them. So I'm getting from that you're planning on writing a book, which I think is an amazing idea, a very cathartic way of getting all of that abuse out there and healing, getting it all in a tangible form, Tracy. Um, if a covert narc is outed by, but what do you say to that, David?
What if I get it right, she wants to write a book about the situation. He's going to know about it. What does he think? How will he react? Is that right? If I'm getting it right, something like that.
Yeah, it's hard to often get things when they're written. Would that stop the crap behind the lines? We have children and he hoovers every time. So I think what Tracy is saying is that if he's outed via a book and it's all out there and everyone knows, will that stop him with his disgusting behavior?
Well, everyone's got to read the book. Everyone's got to
Yeah,
know it's about him, right?
yeah,
And he's actually got to care. I don't know. What I do know from directly from narcissists and sociopaths in this situation, they've told me that they feel they're proud. They're getting more attention that you wrote a whole
yeah.
book about that.
It's like, wow, someone's written, yeah, that's exactly what I thought, Dave. It's like, wow, oh, wow, I must be special because someone's taken the time out of their life. Oh, and by the way, they're crazy. Someone's taken the time out of their life to instigate a smear campaign against me and to go and write a book against me. That makes me feel really, really special. So yeah, I think that can not work the way you think it might, Tracy, because narcissists don't think the way we do. And that will be, it might even be an ego boost, like David said. It might give them just a spike, yeah, just a spike of ego. I'm not sure that just because he's out there that he'll go, oh no, everyone knows now, I'll stop my behavior. Yeah, their brains don't work like ours, do they, David?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, no. Some of these people really don't care. I know being outed and people knowing what they are, it can be their biggest fear. But like I
Yeah.
said, if you want to write a book, write about your experience, end it on a really positive note. And if you really want to get back at him, be successful, be happy, write good, yeah.
Yeah,
And leave him as
absolutely.
much out of your life as you can.
Yeah.
And that
Um,
really is revenge.
Absolutely. That's the best way. Don't go out of your way to um, make it really, really obvious that it's about him because it will just give him a big ego boost. And you can't hurt them because they don't have those normal emotions that we have. He will just somehow turn it around, flip the script that you are this crazy, jealous ex that is so obsessed with him that
Obsessed.
you have to go and write a book and you can't even go on with your life without, writing a book about him. So if you want to make it a cathartic thing where you're talking to other survivors and other victims to help people and help yourself, I think that would be a wonderful thing. But be careful if you're doing it for, if there's like a revenge motive in there, which I totally get that. But the narcissist will just take that as you're stroking their ego. Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Okay. Mel Rose is there. Hi, Mel. Mel is from Cardiff, Wales, UK. Happy New Year, Mel. We've got Jonna Shemwana. Sorry if I haven't pronounced that, Jonna. Happy New Year from Derby, England. Um, okay. More questions, guys. Throw them at us. Mal Lloyd's here from the Australian Narcissistic. Oh God, I've forgotten the acronym now. The Australian Narcissistic Recovery Group. Please put the acronym down, Mel. Mel's the founder of that group, guys. It's a support group. They have a private one and a public one. So if you're after extra support, please just inbox Mel, and I'm sure Mel will put the link up. But it's Tansar, Tansr. Hey, going, Mel. Mel says, hi, guys. Happy to be back for the first day of the new year, Maryborough, Victoria. Karen Connor says, why do they trash and insult, smear after they leave you? Yeah, good question. You know, why don't they just sail off into the sunset, David? They've left you. Why do they do this? Why do they have to leave this trail of destruction?
Well, these are emotional children. They're not very mature, are they? Developed. So, things didn't go their way. They're a victim, victim identity. They identify as being a victim all the time. That means I don't look at myself. I look at you. And if I'm not happy, if I'm with you and I'm not happy, it's your fault. Things don't work out the way I wanted them to. It's because you wouldn't do what I wanted. All these things, nobody's happy after a relationship ends. Whatever they want to feel, however angry they are at you for wasting time with you and you doing all these things to them. And it's just resentment and things like this. Number one reason for a smear campaign, you'll look up though, is they literally are more worried. It's total projection. They're worried about you getting to people first. They know, that. Yeah. Relationship is over. They're not in control with you. They're not in control of you anymore. So they have to control the people around you. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to tell everyone you're the bad person because I know that you're going to do that. See, smear campaigns are antisocial behavior, right? We hate it. We don't just hate doing it. We hate listening to it, hearing it, seeing it. So they don't realize this, being antisocial that they are, that they can do whatever they want. But so they think you're going to do it. They think you're going to go and tell everybody how horrible they are because they are. They're horrible. They know what they did to you is wrong. But, so they're going to tell everyone you're the bad guy first. They're going to get to people first. It's projection and they tell everyone how bad you are, but it's because how bad they are.
Yeah. Yeah. So we've got to remember that that they think that everyone else is like them. That's the way they think. So they think that, that you're going to go out and say all these awful things, which were actually true, which society wouldn't, look upon favorably, especially if they move straight onto a new relationship. So it's a preemptive strike to get in first before you can get in. That's why they do it. They are scared because you can out them. You can pull away the mask because you know the real them. So they have to get in and create this smear campaign before you can do it first. And there's always a little teeny tiny seed of truth in there. And that's why they're so good at it, because they throw in that little seed of truth and people remember that seed. They don't kind of look too much further. And then you go in and try and defend yourself and people go, oh yeah, that person told us you were going to say that. And it's just, it's incredibly manipulative. And like David said, it's just projection. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just extreme antisocial behavior. Remember that. We don't do that. So when you're worried about somebody out there saying horrible, nasty things about you, try to understand that that's not okay to do that. And so it doesn't matter who's wrong or who's right. It's about anyone making accusations and saying bad, nasty things about people is unacceptable in society, including your ex. And we value too much what they thought when we were with them. So when the relationship is over and they're saying all these bad things, we're so worried about it. And who cares? Who cares? They look horrible. You don't realize how bad they look doing that. And that's why we don't say bad things about people. We just don't do it.
Yeah.
go take care of it, heal from it, and talk about it. Not two people, like that.
Absolutely. Like we can look at it, not defending ourselves and just look at the behavior and just go, there's something seriously, wrong with this person that they
Right.
just continue on and on with the smear campaign. But it says everything about them. And when you're looking at it from non-disordered eyes, you can see just the dysfunctional, disordered, capacity that these
That's
people
it.
have because they won't stop. But they're sitting there thinking, looking at it, I guess through the narcissist's eyes, they're sitting there protecting themselves. That's what it is all about, protecting that false mask, and they will continue on with the smear campaign, ad infinitum if they don't get another source.
That's right. And just remember two things. All they're doing is they can't control you anymore, so they're controlling everyone around you, right? And if you're
Yeah,
worried about what people think, just keep the contrast. Keep them being gross, saying nasty things, and you sitting there smiling, saying nothing. Just keep it that way. Trust me.
yeah,
I know it's hard.
yeah.
It's so hard, but that's the only way it works.
Yeah, fantastic words of advice there, guys. Just remember what David just said. When you have a smear campaign instigated against you, if you sit there, don't defend yourself. Don't do anything, because people will eventually look at that person and go, you know, there's something wrong with them. Okay, there is something clearly wrong with that person, and they will, cotton on to that toxic behavior.
If you react at all, they are now in control of you.
Yeah,
That's what they're trying to do. Do not react. Do not talk about them. They're below you, beneath you. That was in your past. You're over it. You don't care about them anymore. You
yeah,
go cry to somebody else that that cares. Yeah, that'll
yeah.
listen to you. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I hope that's helped there, Karen. Louise says, my narc brother always ruins Christmas or a family celebration. He either leaves mid festivities, refuses to eat, goes and sulks in a corner, or starts an argument. Why do they do this? He deliberately, he really lost you, Louise. He deliberately upsets everybody. It's just classic behaviour, isn't it, David?
Yeah.
What
Is he 5, 6 years old? How old is he?
he's an adult. Yeah. So
Oh,
he's a
oh,
grown man, yeah, ruining Christmas. So the little, the narcissist goes and sulks in a corner. And what do we do if someone's on a special day like Christmas? If someone's sulking in a corner, we as normal empathic people, we don't want to see them, being miserable. So we want to cheer them up. We want to know what's wrong. And what does this do? It brings the attention on to the narcissist, and this is why they do it. You were probably sitting around, Louise, drinking eggnog or whatever it was you were doing, having a wonderful time, and they don't know how to handle that because they can't feel that natural ability to be happy. So
mhm.
he needed to bring the attention back onto himself. So yeah, creates drama, goes and sulks in a corner. So people who don't want him to be having a horrible Christmas go and give him attention, and that's exactly why they do it.
Well, exactly. Right. And, he's obviously depressed. He needs to get help and take care of his problems because this is what happens when people don't. It comes and interferes all the time with other things, relationships, gatherings, holidays. And so you've got to take care of yourself and
Yeah,
say, this ruins my holiday. If this is a pattern, how many holidays are you going to let it ruin? Okay. If you know he's like this every time, then it's okay to say, I don't want to do this time because my brother has problems that he doesn't want to take care of, and I don't want to take care of it on some of the most important days, of the year. So it's just
absolutely.
you're not going to invite him over, or you're not going to go to his house, or if mom and dad want to invite him every year, then you're going to let them know that you wish not to spend Christmas this time feeling sorry for him, giving them a pity party all day.
Yeah, And there's
And
nothing
that's
wrong with
not too
that.
hard.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
sure
sorry, go
that.
ahead.
Sorry?
No, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say it kind of brings it back to that, that illusion, or not really an illusion, but that belief that a lot of people have that, oh my goodness, you can't ditch your family at Christmas time. It's blood, it's family. But if someone's toxic, it doesn't matter. If it's family, it doesn't matter whether it's your mother, your father, your uncle, if they are extremely toxic and they're doing this intentionally. And as we know, these people elicit these behaviors intentionally to bring, the attention back onto themselves. If they are ruining every Christmas, then you have to seriously think about why you're there. Are you being, given the obligation and the guilt trips because you can't, not be with family at Christmas? Well, who wants to be with family who ruin the day every single year? Why would you? And a lot of people do. They that don't understand. They put that, that fear into you that you're a horrible person if you don't want to be near your narcissistic mother or your toxic brother. But they haven't walked in, they haven't walked in your shoes, and they have no idea of what your experience is like. So this is where you have to learn that it's okay to say no to toxic family members.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, we need to take care of our own problems. Can't put them on your family, on your friends all the time.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Chris says, been a bit on edge here. Been hearing someone doing a slow drive past my house a few times a night over the past week. Thought it was Uber Eats driver. Then heard weird noises near my bedroom one night. Hold on, just open your question up. Um, Near my bedroom window one night. It scared me enough to call a friend to calm me. Decided it could have been a cat maybe. But yesterday, my ex-narc's ex-wife told me she busted him and his new supply doing a drive-by of First Street. Okay, he has no need to go near her house as it's in an area where there's only houses. She also told me he's moved back to a nearby suburb only about 10 minutes from both her and me instead of the 1.5 hours from where he was. It's kind of rattled me because we have court intervention order finalising on January the 9th, both mine and his ex-wife's. Double whammy for him. Okay, yeah. Well, I would be really being safer than being sorry. Chris, if he's used to live an hour and a half away and now he's, within 10-minute radius of you, and his ex after you or before you, I'm not sure. It's never a coincidence, is it, David, with a narcissist? If something happens and you think, oh, that, don't forget you've been gaslit into doubting your instinct. Now, if your instinct is screaming at you that something is off now, and it's not just happening to you, but it's happening to the other ex, listen to your instinct. What does it hurt to put in a notification to the police and to document? Write it all down, get a video, yeah. What, have you got anything to add to that, David? It certainly doesn't
Sure.
sound like a coincidence to me.
Sure. Yeah. Well, if you're afraid, always find out exactly what you're afraid of, and is it reasonable? Can you do something about it? What can you do? So,
Yeah,
is this guy violent? Is he breaking your house? Has he done it anywhere else? Should you really be really scared? You
yeah,
know, and let's just do some things that maybe make you feel better. If the fear is him showing up unexpected, uh, spying on you, getting in through your windows, doors, then let's build up some home security. So I just did a video on this the other day if you want to watch it, but you know, let's affordable things, floodlights, lights outside. Let's have a fence, make sure our doors are locked, change the locks. You might have a key, bar your windows, lock them, call, but you can always know your local police and tell them. That's what they're there for. Tell them the situation. Say, I wouldn't mind at all someone driving by an extra time or two in front of my house every night.
yeah.
Get a dog. get a dog, get an alarm system. There's cheap cameras you can put outside, $100, $20. You can put fake ones. I mean, there's all the signs, all kinds of options. Make
Yeah,
yourself feel safe and secure.
yeah. Just
Lawyers will help you too. Lawyers will help you with stuff like this. Is that what you call
yeah.
them still? Lawyers? Yeah.
Loyal, yeah. So yeah, just but as everything David said, 100%, Chris, it's just better to be safe than sorry, but certainly don't let it ruin your life. You don't want them to have that much power over you that you're walking around, scared all the time. But yeah, extra security, like David said, and maybe yeah, contact the police, just give them the heads up. But yeah, certainly don't let him ruin the rest of your life. Yeah, just
Yeah, and
be
you,
careful.
you said you're going to court soon or something. So if you have a lawyer, discuss these things with him. Get a different lawyer's opinion if you have to. If you can get some type of court order where he's not allowed to drive in front of your house for a certain amount of time, it's different than a restraining order. It's easier to get.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, who else? We have CB Davo. Hi, CB says great discussion. I'm glad you're here. Happy New Year. Uh, Tracy says, what fixed my ex was security cameras. Yeah, he used to cause trouble, but once my parents installed the cameras, he used to sit quietly with his arms crossed. Also worked when he was ousted on a DV order, didn't like being taped, so he behaved. So there you go, Chris. Tracy did exactly what David said, which was, or Tracy's parents put some cameras in, and seemed to be enough to scare them off. He was obviously smart enough to know that everything he did was going to be recorded. So yeah, something to think about.
Deterrence, deterrence, lights, cameras, fake cameras, signs, alarm signs, anything. Deterrence, fences, lock things. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, absolutely.
And a dog. Dogs are great, guys. Dogs help you heal from this, by the way.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Mm.
David and I both got a dog, and I know someone has to come, within 100 yards, and he's going off his off his
Yeah.
brain, much to the uh, shock of the neighbours. But yeah, no one could get near here without him going off. So, and yeah, like David said, it's having an animal. It's a wonderful healing, thing to have in your life. So if you haven't got that, maybe something to think about.
Yeah.
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 Mel Rose is here. How do you deal with a narcissist if it's your child's father and you are on family court proceedings and you have to hand your child over to him, but she is frightened of him? Oh, goodness, Mel. We get asked this every single week, and it's just, yeah, it's a horrible thing to have to go through. And it's one of the things that absolutely sucks about having been in a relationship with a narcissist and having children with a narcissist. Is there a magic formula to it? No, there's not. Uh, what you what you have to do is to remember that you're the only appropriate parent. That the other parent is never going to be that appropriate role model that you wish, that you want for your child. Okay, short of being, an overt child abuser, something that's going to get picked up on the radar by child protection, they're going to gaslight. They are going to project. They're going to manipulate your child. Possibly to go against you, and it's not going to be appropriate. But once you can come to terms with the fact that you cannot control his behaviour, you can start to move on. It's unfortunate that your child, doesn't want to go over there, and I'm not sure what kind of arrangements you've got, whether you've talked to your lawyer about that and what your orders are and that type of thing. But I guess I say this to other parents that reinforcing them being scared is not going to help the situation.
Mm.
Yeah, if they are really and truly fearful of going over to the other parent, you need to discuss that with your lawyer. But if it's something that that you think you can manage with the strategies that you employ. I guess try and take the fear out of it for your child. If she has to go, if it's court ordered, you've told your lawyer all about the narc's behaviour, and that contact is still court ordered, there's nothing you can do about it. So I guess trying to make that situation for your child as less stressful as possible and making it into something, I don't know. What do you want to say to that, David? I guess I just say, take the fear out of it, and maybe, on the way to contact, take them for an ice cream, and on the way home from contact with the other parent, take them somewhere so they don't symbolise that day with something that's really, really scary, and they get to, have that pairing, that cognitive pairing of the day they go see daddy with something that's they can look forward to as well, rather than something that's fearful. I hope that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, it's so hard, it's so tough. This is a very sad, delicate situation, and you and I know we could talk forever about this. There's so much you need to know and information that you should learn. I know you asked a specific question, but if I could just quickly say some things, I would say, look, the first part is the acceptance. There's a certain amount of acceptance, I believe, will help you once you realize if this is, like you said, court ordered, what can you do? You got to do what the courts say. But
Yeah.
look for signs, visible signs of abuse, document everything, let them, get them into seeing someone regularly that they can trust and talk to so that they can also identify any kind of abuse. And then, you just can worry about those things to a certain degree. Don't overcompensate. Be the parent that you are. You don't have to make up and don't badmouth the other parent and make it worse for the child. Just there's a certain part of dealing with this, but learning, there's a ton of information out there on that'll help you how to do this. So keep learning, it'll help you. And keep communication down to almost none. Don't forget, you're not parenting with this person. You're not parallel parenting. You're not co-parenting. You're parallel parenting. You're not. They're not gonna be honest with you and work with you and things like this. So, maybe just emails, maybe just through lawyers. Really define the terms and stick to them. If they don't show up on time, that's gonna be something you're gonna have to deal with. If they spoil the kids with presents or ice cream and candy all the time or whatever it is, there's certain things you're gonna have to accept and deal with.
Yeah.
Sad.
Yeah. Absolutely. And everything David said is such great advice. I guess I spoke more about, what to do with the contact with the kids, but how do you deal with them? Exactly what David said, minimal contact, emails, don't give them a reaction. And that's really hard when you don't have kids, but they will do everything that David just said, as in spoil the kids, turn up late, do all this stuff to get under your skin, to annoy you, to get a reaction from you. And that's where you're really going to have to practice not reacting. And your blood's going to boil. It's going to make you so mad, but you have to practice not giving them what they want, which is a reaction.
Yeah,
which is going
that's
to be
right.
bad. It's going to make the children happier too, because they're going to see you calmer. And you've got to remember, you're the appropriate parent. You're the only one they've got.
And the time that I've been doing this, working with clients, I'm telling you that everyone seems to be way more okay when they've got one okay parent. So divorce, being separated from a toxic relationship is always better than being in one, because then each of you have a chance to go be happy and healthy, and that's what the child needs. Okay, so just go be happy, be healthy, be successful, be a good person, be a good parent, and that's all you need to worry about. The child will probably be just fine.
Yeah. And that's another thing, that the kids want a happy parent. They don't want a parent who's right. They want a happy mum or a happy dad. And you need to be that. Mel, you need to be that happy person. And what I found, and I'm sure David's the same, is that parents, once they come to terms with the fact that they can't change what goes on in that house and they're not going to be able to co-parent with them, This is a fact. You are never going to be able to co-parent with them. It's a sad reality. But once parents actually get that inside their head that, okay, it's just me and I have to work out how to parallel parent without, any input from that parent, that's when they can just relax and go, okay, this is the way it is. This is what I've got to work with. And these are the things I can change and these are the things I can't.
That's right. That's right. And any child will be okay with one parent. So you do your parenting as your one parent and you let them fail at theirs. They're going to be okay, I promise.
Yeah. Hope that's helped, Mel. We've got Mark Silverwood here. Hi, Mark. Happy New Year. Do narcs hoover their flying monkeys to help them with your discard? Happy New Year. Thanks for your help, guys. David, do narcs hoover their flying monkeys to help them with your discard?
I'm not sure I understand that question.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. Do narcs hoover their flying monkeys to help them with your discard? Mark, if you're meaning, do they, if they've dropped, their flying monkeys and the people that were helping them, then they can go back to them at any stage. They're just another object that they use, they're a means to an end. So if you mean, do they go and hoover them back if they've given them the flick and say, become their best friend again, or someone who's, an integral part of their life, to get them to do the dirty work, to discard you and ruin your life, totally possible. It's, why wouldn't they? They will use anyone and anything to keep their hands from getting dirty, if that means destroying you. So I would say yes, if I'm taking that the right way.
Yeah, if they're their flying monkeys, then they'll use them for anything, right?
Yeah.
Use them to
Yeah.
hurt you, discard you, smear you, ruin your life. Yeah.
Yeah. Just a means to an end. That's what we all are to a narcissist. Kathy
Yeah.
Green said, "Hi, Nova and David. Mine used my oldest son as a pawn, to take my younger son away from me on Christmas against my younger son's wishes." Oh, I'm sorry, Kathy. Older son made out that he was going to spend, hold on, let me open that, was going to spend the day alone with his brother, but lied and took him to his father. So my younger son was feeling awkward and as he wanted nothing to do with his dad and has told him so. Did you want to respond to that, David? Did you hear all of that?
Oh, that's sad. I'm sorry. I don't know what to say. You guys have some kind of agreement, and maybe you should. I mean,
Yeah.
a legal binding agreement with a lawyer. That'll avoid a lot of things like that.
Yeah, and it sounds like, Kathy, maybe the older son was being manipulated, by the narcissist, and possibly he said, bring your little brother over and don't tell mum, which is it's what they do. They think nothing of that, and
Yeah.
it doesn't sound like your younger son wanted to go, and it was clearly inappropriate, that those actions and what happened around Christmas Day and the comings and goings of your son should have been discussed with you. We know that's just impossible with the narcissist. So maybe you really need to, tighten those. Well, if you haven't got any, get some orders in place that restrict those kinds of movements, because it's not appropriate that your son is going somewhere and you don't know about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's playing a game, I'm sure, of mom against dad, and whose side are you gonna pick? You're probably the oldest child. You love dad or you love mom.
What a
Let's get
horrible
your brother over here too on our side, on the good side.
What a
It's
horrible thing
sad.
to
Try not
do.
to play.
What a horrible thing to do, like to your older son, to put him in that position
Yeah.
where he's sneaking around behind his mother's back, doing that kind of thing. And then probably being rewarded for that terrible behavior by the narcissist father. It role models terrible behavior, and it also puts the child in a terrible position where he's going against his mother.
That's right. Yeah. Are you going to betray mom or are you going to betray dad? Yeah.
Yeah, awful.
So just
Okay.
try not to play with him. And I'm
Yeah.
sorry. It's just awful. Part of that acceptance, it's just an awful situation. It's just sad. It's awful.
And, not knowing what I know, and I'm sure, everyone can relate to this, not knowing what I do, my first knee-jerk reaction, my first instinctual reaction would be to get on the phone and abuse him and tell him what a, low-life, disgusting father he is. And, that would be what someone who doesn't know what you know, Kathy, that's what that person would do. But you can't do that because that's what he's doing this. He wants you to get on the phone and go, because that feeds his ego. So don't do it, but go to your lawyer, and get this so it can't happen again. But don't react to him, as hard as that
Yeah,
is.
right. And be careful not to keep the kids in between. Just, it's sad. Try not to react to the children either.
Yeah,
Too much.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's a really good point. Not to the children, because it. Whoops, not sure what happened there. But yeah, it would be hard not to say, well, to the child, especially in a moment of anxiety and frustration, and why did you do that? Why didn't you tell me? But it's really not the child's fault, is it? They are being manipulated by a master manipulator who would be putting, the obligation and the fear and the guilt into them, and it's just a no-win situation for the children.
Yeah, try not to be too sad or angry and just, I missed you. That's all you can
Yeah,
do. It's sad.
absolutely. Okay, we've got Amy Reed here. Hi, Amy. Amy says, she's responding to Mel. If you find the answer, please let me know. Never felt more helpless in my life. Oh, goodness, Amy. Regina Yan is here. Hi, mine sends me texts calling me the narcissist. Yeah, that's projection, Regina. Then he sends me all the Facebook memes about narcissists. It's frustrating and upsetting. Does this happen to anyone else? Yeah. I guess the question, David, is why she got those avenues open where she can receive those memes.
That's right. Try if you don't try to realize if this has been a traumatizing relationship, that it's probably still traumatizing you, right? It's really upsetting you. So let's stop. Let's control this. Can't control him. So change your phone number. Change, if you can't block the text messages, change your phone number. And if you say I can't because of business or something, I don't know what to say,
Yeah.
but you got to change your phone number or not look, at him, see him and just cut your social medias off. However he's contacting you, it's got to stop and try to do what you can to make it stop. Not
It,
him. You're not going to stop him. Make the
absolutely.
communication stop. Cut it off.
And, is it fair, Regina, that you have to do this? You have to go and, block certain people on Facebook and change the whole, structure of social media and the way you contact him and other people. It's so unfair. But you've got to look at your healing. You are not going to heal when you are receiving that stuff. And him sending you those memes, it's just projection. He's probably heard that's what you think about him, and he's flipping that script and projecting it all straight back onto you, shining it like a spotlight onto you, and it's getting, that would frustrate you, and you have to cut off all that communication so you can heal, because that's only going to set you back.
And
Yeah,
that's doing something for yourself. That's doing the right thing. It'll make you happier. Do it.
yeah. Goodness. Okay, we've got Sharon Renee here. Hi, Sharon. The narc pleaded in mediation to speak with the kids every day for 8 days and never got time right, and then missed actual Christmas Day. And then our Boxing Day, which is his Christmas, I received the most disgusting racial, hold on, let me open it up, the most disgusting racial Facebook messages against me and my young girls from someone he knows. So have completely cut contact for a while. Even kids contact. He didn't even care someone would call his baby girls rude racial names. Somehow blamed and yelled at me. Yeah. So Sharon, the mediation with a narcissist is just about power and control. It's about this is my property. They're my kids. That's my property, and you are going to know that I have every right to do what I want when I want with my property. That's what that is all about. Certainly, when push comes to shove, and it's actually spending quality time talking to them at the allocated time, that's just going to go through the window because it was never about that. It was about eliciting their power and control and letting you know that that's his property. He can do what he wants.
Yeah. Yeah. These people don't get along with very well. Mediation just is another person in their way.
Yeah. And David, a mediator telling a narcissistic parent what to do with their property, that's like, waving a red flag at a bull, because they have no respect for any of these people. So what a mediator
Entitlement.
does.
Yeah. Entitlement. Who are you to tell me I don't deserve this? I made this. It's mine. I want this.
Yeah, you can't
Yeah.
tell me what to
Very,
do.
yeah.
Goodness. Okay. We've got April Bourgeois there. Hi, April. Happy New Year. What if the twist of the book is, excuse me, what if the twist of the book is about the victim's healing instead of the abuse? Oh, wow. Okay. So, David, I'm assuming April's going back to Tracy's book, which is kind of what we talked about, isn't it? Taking the spin off it being about the narcissist and perhaps having a bit of revenge in there and making it all about your healing.
That's right. That's what it should be about. And we don't like people saying anything about us. And it's not that I'm worried about his feelings. I'm just worried
No,
about the way it looks. It's the way it looks. Yeah,
yeah,
we don't want any kind of smear campaigns or anything close to it. So we are the ones that don't do that. They are. And
yeah,
trust me, you'll benefit so much more writing a book about you, your experience, and what you've done with it, what you've
yeah,
learned. Healing is learning. So write
yeah.
about what you've learned. Yeah.
Yeah, couldn't have said it better. It's you just don't want to feed their ego anymore. So I think that concept, April, is a really good one. Making it about healing, about the abuse. Of course, you're going to have to talk about your abuse, but I'm saying if you do it, just be careful that it doesn't come across as being a smear campaign against the abuser, because that will
I,
backfire.
I had a client write a book and she wrote so much about the ex and she wanted everyone he knew to read the book and expose him. And all I did is I just explained to her, you really want to do this, you really want to say that. And she just slowly, one by one, removed little things, little things. No, I don't want to do that. And by the end of the book, by the end of the time, before she actually published it and got it edited, it was just like all of him was out of it. It was all about her and her healing and her recovery and what she's doing now. And it's just so much better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea, April, and certainly there's going to be more, more healing, and I guess is going to be something that is going to benefit other victims and survivors because they need to know how to heal from someone who's done it or who is doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, just keep whoever you write about anonymous. Best thing to do. If people want to figure out who it is, and that's
Yeah,
alone.
and that's the thing. Keep it, yeah, definitely keep it anonymous. A smear campaign is when you make it really, you mention names and you go to people that you want to get people that they know to read it, and you say this is about that person. That's a smear campaign. If you're talking in general about them, even if it is about them, If you're just talking in general, using general concepts that could be about anyone, that is not a smear campaign. So
Yeah,
that's
right,
just make it general. Yeah.
right. And good luck.
And good
It's a good
luck.
thing to
Yeah.
do. Yeah.
Absolutely. Wonderful thing. Who else have we got? Um, Tracy says, I don't want to get back at him. I just want him to go away. But that's the attitude, Tracy. So yeah, go into it with your eyes open and use it as a cathartic healing experience. And just stay away from him and don't react. We got Tessa Crawford here. Hi, Tessa. Happy New Year. Says hi, Nova and David. It's funny how you say they discard us around Christmas time. I'm getting these really long ones tonight. I have an ex who is the charming abuser and father of 3 of my kids. I was with him for 10 years, and each Christmas there was some drama, whether it was he not wanting me to go see my family, or once he left me and moved to another state with a girl, or yelling at me for not holding the right piece in place of a toy we were putting together for the kids' Christmas Eve. Then letting him come back, I finally left him the following Christmas. And of course, despite everything he'd done to me and put me through, I was the one who ruined Christmas by tearing his family apart. Now, currently with yet another coercive, abusive father to my youngest, and almost ready to leave. But because I have this inner belief that it's always been me who made the dramas right before Christmas and ruined each year for everyone, this time I pushed myself to wait till after this Christmas, but I'm really struggling. Yeah, and I guess that's the conditioning, isn't it, David? That's her fault. She ruined Christmas.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, he's never going to have a good Christmas, is he? You know that. He's a little kid with lots of expectations, and he's never going to get what he wants. Never is going to get enough attention. It's never going to, it's never going to be good. Yeah, the best Christmases you are going to have now is without him. And I know this
Yeah,
is a hard one, but they get easier. I promise. I promise you won't care anymore. You won't care.
yeah.
Start making better Christmases. Yeah.
Yeah, new traditions. Make the
Yeah.
next one completely different.
Mhm.
And of course he's going to blame you, and that's the gaslighting. When you come out of these relationships, all that just doesn't. You don't just snap your fingers and go back to the way you were before. That's your brain's been conditioned. You have to rewire it into thinking, hey, I didn't ruin those Christmases. He did. And you have to keep telling yourself and kicking all those toxic negative thoughts out of your head. But there's a reason you feel like that, because he was telling you over and over and over again, essentially brainwashing you. You have to re-brainwash yourself back into thinking that the problem was never me, it was always him. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a common occurrence to have bad repeated experiences, and you got to think it's your fault. You deserve it. So it's just got to start having some good ones. Have some better Christmases. It's okay to skip a Christmas. If this one was a horrible, abusive a Christmas, whatever, and you're just getting out of this stuff, maybe you don't have Christmas next year. Skip one. I do that. I do. Just sometimes I can't make it, and I say, you know what, I'm not going to decorate or do anything, and the next Christmas is going to be twice as good. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great words of advice. We've got Christina Amigador. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right, Christina. He's taking me to family court, wants shared custody, and is removing the child from the jurisdiction just to get back at me. He's got a lawyer and I cannot afford one. Any tips on how to convince the court, how to convince the court that what he's really like and win against him? Oh my goodness, it's so, so incredibly hard, Christina. I'm not sure where you are in the world, but you need to get a lawyer who gets narcissistic abuse. You need support. If why can he afford a lawyer and you can't? I mean, that just puts the power imbalance is there. It's just terrible, isn't it, David? The fact that the narcissistic, toxic parent has still got all the control.
It's awful, and I've heard this happen many times. And If you can't afford a lawyer, that is just horrible. I'm sorry. If you can't afford one at all, not even a cheap one, at least seek some kind of advice if you can. You know, if you can't represent yourself, find out the law, what you can do in the realms of the law. You know, document. I say this all the time. We don't think about doing this at the time. We think about it after when something happens, something he did, something he said. Got to document these things. Um,
Yeah.
get your child into counseling. He should be forced to pay for that at least. Should be, you know,
Yeah.
stuff like this. But yeah, I'm awfully sorry. It is just horrible. I've heard of
Yeah.
this happening. Yeah, he was the breadwinner. He makes all the money. You know, the relationship's over. You're trying to get a divorce, and now he doesn't even give her any money to pay for a lawyer. So he attacks her with an expensive lawyer, and
Yeah.
it's
And
horrible. It is.
it's so incredibly unfair because often,
Yeah.
the toxic parent, there would have been an incredible power imbalance during the marriage or during the relationship where, they've got all the funds and there's a lot that's hidden and, a lot of cash and stuff like that. And so, of course, they can afford, lawyers afterwards. And, when all the money's tied up in a property settlement and you can't access it, how do you, as the one who was the victim during the marriage, how do you, get access to stuff that no one knows about? And this is, financial abuse is just such a common occurrence and, pretty much goes hand in hand. So, look, I would suggest, yeah, as David said, really, really trying to get some legal representation. If you can't, really know your rights and really read up on what you can and can't do. Don't go in there telling the court and everyone else that he's a narcissist. The problem with that is you haven't got any professional diagnosis, and it's unlikely that you will get a professional diagnosis. I would say 100% unlikely. My talk about patterns of behavior. Don't mention the word narcissist because unfortunately it's thrown around and the courts do not get it at the moment. They do not understand what a true narcissistic parent is like. So instead, in your affidavit, describe patterns of behavior that reflect narcissistic behavior and let the court draw its own conclusions. Because as soon as you start making your own diagnoses, the court goes, oh yeah, that she's thinks she's like a doctor now. It's unfair. It is incredibly unfair. But you've got, and don't react. Don't be emotional and react, because don't forget he'll be saying she's crazy. Yeah, she's crazy, and he'll be winding you up with all this pathological lying. You keep it factual and look at all the patterns of behavior.
That's right. Yeah, the titles don't matter, only the behavior. So if you're going to tell the court something, tell him what he does. You know, saying he's a narcissist. The reason that doesn't work is for the same reason it won't work on you. He calls you a narcissist, says you've done all these things. Doesn't work either way. It just
Yeah,
looks bad to the person pointing the finger. So if you want to present something to the court, have something solid. Here's what he's done. I've taken my children to a therapist. Here's a therapist testimony. He says, yes, the children tell me this. You know, he doesn't, whatever. He sends me all this abusive stuff. Document it, save it, always, constantly. And I'm just
yeah,
awfully sorry, and just keep looking for help. There might be some, you know, the legal system, you got to work it in your favor. So there might be some way that he is supposed to pay for your legal counsel. Maybe, you know, keep looking, don't give up, keep trying.
yeah. Incredibly unfair.
I'm telling you. Yeah, it's really bad, really unfair. Yeah.
Yeah. Liz Curry says, I would describe my ex as having BPD with, so I'm assuming you're saying borderline personality disorder with strong narcissistic personality disorder traits. Do these two disorders go hand in hand, or is it unusual to have two type B personalities? David?
No, it's not unusual at all. Doctors will diagnose comorbid even, but the thing you need to remember is I truly believe that cluster Bs are all on the narcissistic spectrum. So, you know, borderlines are on that spectrum somewhere, you know, and I know there's a lot of borderlines that say I'm not a narcissist, or there's people say I knew borderlines that weren't very narcissistic. Okay, maybe they're down here, you know, here
Yeah,
I'm in the camera, maybe they're down here, but there's borderlines that are extremely narcissistic. And there's
Yeah.
doctors that say they're even the same thing. And so, they're
You,
clustered together for a reason.
That's right. That's exactly right. That's why it's called cluster B. You'll rarely get someone who's, antisocial, borderline, who is not narcissistic. In fact, all of those cluster Bs are narcissistic. Will have narcissistic traits in them. There is always some overlap with the NPD. Um,
Yes.
yeah.
The
So
antisocial psychopath, sociopath, in fact, does meet the criteria for narcissistic personality disorder as well. So
yeah,
they are narcissists. So histrionic and borderline, they're on the spectrum somewhere. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah. Hope that's I guess yeah. A psychopath, an sociopath, histrionic, borderline, or everyone that's, every one of those disorders that's within the cluster Bs, they're all narcissistic. They're all on that spectrum somewhere. But someone who's full blown NPD is not necessarily, a psychopath or histrionic. So it doesn't work both ways, does it, David?
Right, right. That got cut off there for a second, but yeah.
Oh, no, I'm just saying that it's like all of those disorders within the cluster B will have traits of narcissism. So there'll be that overlap, but someone it doesn't work both ways, because someone who's very, very high on the spectrum, NPD, won't necessarily be, borderline or psychopath. So it doesn't work both
That's
ways.
right. That's
Yeah.
right. They'll say psychopaths and sociopaths are narcissists, but narcissists are not psychopaths and sociopaths.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, we've got Emily Toms here. Hi, Emily. Emily says, how can you get the narc to show his true colours in family court? Oh my goodness, a lot of you are going to family court in the new year. He's denying physical abuse even after the judge found 4 allegations to be true in a fact finding. He contributes, I think you mean continues. Well, question just went away. He continues to deny it. That's all I can see of your question there, Emily. It sounds like the judge, at the moment, he's at least, switched on to with the fact finding, to the fact that he has been abusive on a few different occasions there, David.
Yeah, I mean, the judge isn't going to care who a narcissist is. The judge has seen this type of behavior probably his whole career. I mean, this stuff isn't new, guys. The behavior is not new. There's been narcissists have been in history forever. So the family courts and all this stuff, it's been narcissists, a lot of them in there pulling this studs. I've heard many judges say, and many lawyers and many officers say they've all seen this stuff. They are getting used to it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I guess, as far as getting them to show their true colours in court, you've got to remember, Emily, that's their platform. That's their stage. So they will be acting. You, if you want to get them to show their true colours, potentially, and there's no guarantee of that, because they are in their element. The best way to do that would be to not react, because that's going to get them wound up, because they want your reactions. They want to be able to go, see, she's crazy or he's crazy. So if you just stand there passive, non-emotive, saying everything very factually, the way it happened, you're more likely to get him to show his true colours than if you go in there, trying to wind him up, because that will have the opposite effect.
Yeah, and it just looks horrible when you constantly accuse and make accusations, because he will try to knock you down and make himself look better, right? All you got to do is be the better person, be the better mom, be the one that's calm, the one that doesn't accuse, and let him be a bad parent and make accusations and not follow through with things he's supposed to.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's such a hard thing to consciously do that. I know, to not react, to not defend yourself, to not tell the courts how bad he really is. But you've got to realize a lot of this stuff doesn't matter. And there's a lot of courts here in the United States, a lot of states that are called no fault states, where you even say stuff like that, you're out of there. You start saying bad things about them, because it doesn't matter. It's no fault. Does not matter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But make it all really clear in your affidavit and present it factually and unemotionally. Other than, I'm not saying don't not put in how it made you feel, but just keep to the point, because the court doesn't want to hear that you're getting all wound up and frustrated, because that will work in the narcissist's favor, because they'll be sitting there saying, oh, she's got all these mental health issues and there's all this stuff wrong with you. And the other thing is, prepare yourself. Prepare yourself before you go in that he or she is going to pathologically lie. You can't be shocked when you go in there and the narcissist starts telling all these, um, weird and wonderful untruths, because that's what they do. They are going to pathologically lie. So tell yourself that, expect it, come to terms with it, that this is what you're going to hear, rubbish, and breathe when it happens, but don't react.
Yeah. Yeah. Usually the best thing to do is know what you want, know what's realistic before you go in and stick to it. Yeah.
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 Um, Okay, Regina says, it's still upsetting to hear awful things about yourself that aren't true, but wow, great advice. Yeah, of course it is, Regina. Like, hey, David, can you imagine going into court and having someone, just, you know, it's like putting an ad on the front page of the newspaper, just spewing forth all these absolute untruths about you, and you want to defend yourself, but it's what they want. They plan this very well, and it's so hard. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just realize you're standing in front of the professionals. I'm telling you, a lot of them seen this. Don't be the one that's saying bad, nasty things. Let them do it.
Give them enough rope. People are going, are they still talking about that? They are just going on and on and on and on, and there's something wrong with them. And people will start to recognize this. So you just keep handing them rope, and eventually people will just see how obsessed they are at trying to bring you down.
Yeah. Yeah. It's amazing how we think that everyone's going to believe them. We are so afraid and worried about what they think and what they're going to do. It
Yeah.
usually looks a lot worse than we know, a lot worse than we think. Yeah.
Mhm. Okay, we've got Rebecca Kopp here. Hi, Rebecca. Happy New Year. Um, Louise says, what's the difference between codependency and trauma bonding? Oh, my goodness. Great question, Louise. I won't go into it too much, but I have got, David and I did it, or might have been me by myself, I can't remember, a video live stream a few back, just on trauma bonding. So go and have a look at that. Codependency, I hate the term. Codependency suggests there's something wrong with you. Okay, things happen throughout your life where, and I'm not saying that it's not a thing. That people don't become codependent on other people, meaning that they can't be alone and they need someone else to complete them. It is definitely a phenomenon that people go through, and often associated with childhood trauma, and just abuse and things that have happened in your life. But the difference with a narcissistic abusive relationship is that relationship is more to do with trauma bonding, which is about the strategies the narcissist uses, where there is a push-pull effect that is addictive. You become addicted to these relationships. Codependency screams of blaming the victim. Oh, there's something wrong with you. You're codependent. That's why you can't get away from the narcissist. Whereas the concept of trauma bonding goes to the fact that this is not your fault. You were bonded through trauma, which created an addiction and changed chemicals in your body so that you became addicted to your abuser. So I guess that's the way I differentiate the terms. Trauma bonding is not in any way your fault, and it's just what narcissists do to get you hooked. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
codependency is a diagnosis. Trauma bonding is a describing what happened. So trauma, up and down, like you said, it creates an addiction. I would say codependency has that element of
yeah,
addiction,
yeah,
but trauma bonding is not describing that you're giving your power up and for someone to abuse you.
yeah,
So it's a little different. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got Steve Crompton there. Hi, Steve. Uh, and we've got Jeffrey Blansett there. Hi, Jeffrey. Happy New Year to you guys. Soon be a year of no contact, but I'm still having the talk in my head. Will this ever end? Look, Jeffrey, if you've gone a year of no contact, then congratulations. That is amazing. The talk in my head of when will this ever end? David, did you want to talk to Jeffrey?
Yeah, it's up to you. There's more, I mean, time, it takes time, but it's up to you. There's a lot of stuff you can do, Jeffrey. And if you have that conversation in your head all the time, why don't you get it out? Why don't you get it out? Why don't you start talking to somebody or at least write it down and stuff? So things like this, we need to heal. Something bothering you still, you need to heal from. So start feeling better about it by talking about it and start learning. If you have questions, start finding answers to your questions and start at some point really focusing on you, what you're doing, where you want to be. Okay, so let's totally change what happened from that part of your life to what's happening now. Make it so different. And I mean different. You can change everything in your house. You really want to end it, go on vacation for a while, come back, move, new car. I'm being extreme, but redecorate at least, maybe. Really start changing your whole life and focusing on you and where you want to be and start getting there, finding new interests in your life, make your life
Yeah,
more interesting. Okay.
passion.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's got to be a time, guys, when you stop reading and reading and reading all about narcissistic abuse, and you put. And I'm not saying you shouldn't do this, especially in the beginning. You need to know what you've been through in order to heal, but there's got to come a time when you start putting more energy into healing, which is going to require effort. It's that healing's not going to fall in your lap. You have to get out there and put yourself out there and do things that feel uncomfortable to start with, because your safety zone is here where the narcissist has conditioned you to be safe. So it's going to be a little scary, dipping your toes in the real world. So you're going to have to make yourself do that. And that's
Yeah.
self-care.
Yeah. Yeah. Talk to
Yeah.
someone. Talk to someone. Tell somebody this stuff. It
Yeah,
helps. It's amazing. Yeah.
absolutely. We got Katie Lesnick here. Katie says, David, are you familiar with sociopaths? Um,
I'm familiar with sociopathy, and I believe we've all met a sociopath. They say at least 1 out of 20. That means if you have family, extended family, you might have one in your family. Yeah.
yeah, they're
But
out there.
but did you have more of a question about it?
Yeah, that's all she says. So I guess yeah, that's what we do, and is work with the victims, don't we, David? But look, I use the terms interchangeably. Sociopath, narcissist, they're all um, they're both toxic, and there's so much overlap there, and their whole life revolves around um, destroying other people's lives to boost their
Right.
ego. They're antisocial. So, yeah, I use
They're
the terms into.
exploitative. When you start getting into the disorders, they're exploitative. They exploit other people.
Yeah. You use people as objects for their gain. If you want to get into the real nitty gritty of it, perhaps a sociopath will be more, likely to, break laws and, and that kind of really, really, up at this end of the scale, antisocial behaviour. But there's just so much overlap there that I use, and I know a lot of research. That it's different for everyone you read, but a lot of people do use the terms interchangeably,
Yeah.
sociopath and narcissist. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. And sociopath and psychopath. Yeah.
yeah. We've got Rebecca Millard here. Hi, Rebecca. We might just answer a couple more, guys. It's been a fantastic night. We've had such a lot of people here for the new year. Rebecca says, a solicitor has advised my ex that he cannot come to my home without permission. However, he does at times. And last week he parked at the front of my house for about 5 minutes and then drove off. So clearly he's breaching, David.
Time to get a camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, go look on Amazon. You can get some cheap cameras. You just need one that records. Yeah, you can put it in a window so no one can grab it, damage it, put it up high. Usually that'll just keep them away and be enough. Deterrent. You can get a fake one with a little red flashing light for $5. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, your solicitor has advised that he can't come to your home without permission. So, but he's doing it. So clearly he needs to be breached. I'm assuming that means there's a restraining order in place. But you need to follow through with that, Rebecca. And yeah, as David said, you need to document all this stuff. You can't, that's the thing about the court of law. It's not grey, it's black and white. So if you want to say he's doing that, it's your word against his, you need to prove it. So you have to keep documenting what he's doing. So yeah. Okay, all right. Last one for the evening. We've got Jessica Marie here. Guys, look, I just want to. We've got an incredible audience here tonight. So yeah, as I always say, it's impossible for me and David to get around to answering everybody. So come back next week. That's the great excuse. Please share the live stream, guys. David and I would ask that of you. Please like and share it. Because that helps get the word out and let people know about these live streams every Tuesday night to spread awareness about narcissistic abuse. So yeah, apologies if we didn't get around to answering your questions tonight, but yeah, great excuse for you to come back and talk to each other, guys. Just because this will be on both David and my timelines, talk to each other and support each other as you always do. Okay, last question for the night from Jessica Marie. Open your question up. Okay. There is also agencies like Safe at Home, etc., that do outreach for people who feel uneasy at home. Wow, I didn't know that, Jessica. But that sounds like a really, really good organisation. Going to court, etc. A lady is coming with me to court as he is contesting the VRO. Great support. Wow. Yeah, I didn't know about that. If Jessica's in Australia, do you know if you've got organisations like that in the States, David, where people help you to feel safe in the home and take you to court with your abuser and things like that?
I'm not aware of anything at the home, but there's places to go to. I mean, there's women's shelters and things like this to go to for help
Yeah,
to get away from the home.
the
I
shelters.
don't know
Yeah,
of anything that protects or interacts at the home. I mean,
yeah,
if you should be around an abuser, period. You should be living in the house with an abuser. So it's
yeah,
more about getting away, and we have shelters and stuff like this for that. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I'm not sure if you're in Australia, Jessica, but if you are, there's someone for all the Aussie viewers and supporters there. If you're having the same problems where you're not feeling safe, then yeah, I think Jessica said that it's called Safe at Home. You might want to contact them and they'll be able to help you. Yeah, okay, David, it's come to the end of the evening, and so it would be, I don't know, a couple of hours into your New Year's Day, the early hours. So I want to thank you, as always, for joining us. It's amazing to have you here and to help co-host the show.
Well, thank you very much, Nova, and thank you everyone for tuning in, watching, allowing me to come up here. Thank you.
Pleasure. Okay. All right, David. Well, I shall see you. Everyone, don't forget to subscribe to David's YouTube channel. Don't subscribe to mine yet because I've been a bit slack. Oh, you can. It'll probably make me put more videos up. Maybe that should be my New Year's resolution. I've been so slack. Yeah, subscribe to Brighter Outlook Counselling Service. I promise in the next couple of weeks, I'll do a video or two. But yeah, please subscribe to David's YouTube channel, which is just an amazing channel. He puts out a good few videos a week. He works so hard with the most amazing resources there for victims and survivors of toxic people. So in saying that, David, have a wonderful New Year's Day, and I'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Thank you very much. And all my subscribers and supporters, please go over to Nova's channel. I have the description or the link in the description box for you to go follow over there and just subscribe. Please support people that are doing this. Please. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Awesome.
Happy New Year's, Australia.
Okay, David, thank you. Have a great New Year's Day, and I'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Bye. Say goodbye to David. Okay, everyone, it's been an amazing night. I'm so glad that the live stream worked and we got David in. I was having a major panic attack before we started. I don't mind admitting, worried that we weren't going to get him in. So that went off. Me here tonight. For those of you who don't know, I'm a therapist, I'm a counsellor on the north side of Brisbane in Queensland, Australia. I counsel people in their narcissistic abuse recovery every day. That's my job, and it's absolutely my passion. I'm lucky to be able to do both. So if you would like to have a private session with me, please just inbox me here at Brighter Outlook, and I promise I will get back to you straight away. And I Skype people all over the world, so it doesn't matter where you are, we can set up a private counselling session via Skype. Love to be able to help you in your healing. With all of that said, have a wonderful, wonderful new year. Remember your worth, and then add tax. Bye everyone. See you next week.